of those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our country. We hear about the ones who pass away, the ones who are killed in action. Many times we don't hear about the ones who come home disabled, who come home scarred for life. We don't know about so many families who are separated, who have left today to serve. And I'd like to take 1 minute to just honor those amongst us who either are in active duty or who are veterans. If they could please stand. We thank you for your service, and you are true heroes both of America and of our people in defending the values that we hold dear. And we are honored that you are among us tonight. And when we look today in our military, indeed, the Jewish community is well represented. Just in the last 2 months, for those who have followed news, 4 Jewish soldiers were killed in Iraq. And there were many more. I printed out the list of the soldiers killed, just the A's and B's. It's 44 pages of names. It's all the more reason why, as a Jewish community, we must be engaged with this day.
Yizkor Elohim es neshamos hayli artzot habris shemasru nafshi b'kedusham Hashem v'naflevu v'im lebanu artzei artzot habris.
May God atone for the souls of the fighters of the United States of America, who gave their lives sanctifying God's name, who died a heroic death for the sake of our country, the United States of America. The memory of their heroic deeds will never perish from us. May their souls be bound in the bond of light with the souls of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov.
I watched the flag pass by one day. It fluttered in the breeze. A young Marine saluted, and then he stood at ease. I thought how many men and women like him had fallen through the years. How many had died on foreign soil. How many families had had tears. How many pilots' planes shot down. How many had died at sea. How many foxholes were soldiers' graves. No, freedom is indeed not free.
What I think makes America so unique are the 3 messages on the face of an American coin. E pluribus unum, from many one. Liberty, and in God we trust. It is because of these 3 statements, or values, that we as Jews have found more in common with this great country than any other country in our entire history. I said the reason that we are all born from Adam and Eve and nobody else is to teach us that we are all one people. The teaching tells us that to not read the phrase as the law being engraved on the tablets, charut al luchot, engraved on the tablets, but chirut, freedom in the law. The great law is the one that is able to provide a society with maximum freedom, with the ability to live our best lives. This is liberty. The concept of in God we trust. And this notion of bitachon, of trusting in God, is the cornerstone of Jewish faith. Now, it might not have meant in America that the government has to be a religious government, but it did mean that society is governed by the awareness of a God.
May
time, we do all three. And by coming here tonight, in a show of force and strength, young and old, men and women, you have shown that you, as a community, and our community is a Jewish community, respect and honor those who have gone before us and those that are serving in harm's way.
As my brother said, I go through this life only once. I want to experience everything. On April 6th, only 7 weeks ago, my brother went to the gym with his best friend and office mate, Craig Rose from Australia. There was warning of incoming mortar attack, and then the room filled with smoke. My brother, along with Colonel Scott, were killed instantly, and 17 other soldiers were wounded. One friend shared with us that Stuart was in the process of establishing a Boys and Girls Scouting troop among the local Muslim children, and trying to establish sister and brother chapters in the United States. Because of Stuart's job was to help establish a new Iraqi government with solid leaders, Stuart recognized that he had to begin to build the next generation of leaders amongst the Iraqi people. He simply smiled that smile and said, "Make a difference." It is not until now that I know what Stu meant to accomplish. He would get to know them so that one day he would tell them he was Jewish and their mental blocks would not be up. Why? Because they knew Stu, and I do not know one person who did not like Stu. But I truly believe that we can all learn from Stuart's example, and that we can each in our own personal way make a difference in the world in which we live. There is a flower I'm sure you're all familiar with, a dandelion. When it dies, it does not simply shrivel up and fall on the ground, but rather turns white, and when you blow it, its seeds scatter to the far ends of the earth to begin anew. I truly do not believe that my brother died to simply be buried in this earth. I believe that, like the dandelion, Stuart's seeds of teaching will continue to touch those of us who learn about him.
They say we have done what we could, but until it is finished, it is not done. They say we have given our lives, but until it is finished, no one can know what our lives gave. They say our deaths are not ours, they are yours. They will mean what you made them.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לא לחסר, בדבר תשע ירמיסני, עמי מנוחי ונחלני, נפשי שובד הנה במעגלי צדק למען שמו, גם כי אלך בגיא של מוות, לא יירא רע, כי אתה עמדי. Psalm of David. Hashem is my shepherd, I shall not lack. In lush meadows he leads me down, beside tranquil waters he leads me. He restores my soul. He leads me on paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Though I walk in the valley overshadowed by death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me.
הנחילנו שלום אמת לקיים מה שנאמר, לא יישא גוי על גוי חרב, ולא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. למען ידעו כל יושבי תבל, כי לך אדוני מלוכה היא אתה, ושמך נורא בכל מה שבראת. וכן יהי רצון, ונאמר אמן.
לא יישא גוי על גוי חרב, ולא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. Nation shall not lift up sword against another nation, nor shall they learn war anymore. Let all the inhabitants of the world know that dominion is yours, and your name inspires awe upon all that you have created. May this be your will, And let us say, Amen.